Welcome back to K Bros Automotive. Today we're working on the 2014 Subaru Outback 1.5 inch lift kits. So we have just done the front left is all done. We just put her in there. So now we're going to show you how to do the front right. First step, get that damn tire off. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's what you do when your tire won't come off. Now,
alright, so we got it up on jack stands. We have 3 of them under the car. Safety, #1 rule. Alright, so we have the tire off. All you need to do, I'm assuming you're going to have as much space as we do. So all we did, you take these 2 bolts off of this main mount here for the strut. And then you're going to have enough room. You're going to have to detach this brake line just so you can wiggle it out. So this is going to come off, this is going to come off, these 2 bolts are going to come off. Then we're going to look up at the top. We have 3 bolts on here holding the strut in. Once you take those 3 off, those will be the last 3. This whole thing will be ready to drop out. You're going to have enough room to take the whole thing out. You're going to be able to set it on a table, install your lift kit on top of it, then you'll have enough space to shove it back in there. And that's going to be the tricky part, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So first step is we're going to detach these brake lines.
it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. That brake line right there. Do you know?
Zip ties!
We broke the bolt.
We broke the bolt. Don't impact it.
Don't impact it.
Oh!
So we fucked up.
We fucked up.
We're not going to worry about it though. We're just going to keep moving forward.
Oh. Alright, top bolt's the camber bolt. You have to remember what angle it goes in, but not really because you're taking it in for an alignment anyways. So you're just kind of doing it to do it. So I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm just going to remember that orientation, and hopefully we come back to this in a half hour, and assuming everything works out. So that's what it looks like. Cool. I'll just, it's locked in the brain. And now we're just going to, you know, kind of... Okay.
Just like that.
Alright, so the bottom one, when we tried to turn this, the whole bolt turned with it. So we're just going to put a wrench on the other end of the bolt head, and we'll be able to impact the nut right off. Don't do this. Alright, so when you're taking this thing off, you just have to squeeze this together and then push it out. It's just a little clip.
Now these top 3 bolts. These nuts. We're going to bust the nuts. Yeah. This is how you make the job go by faster.
Alright, Alright, now the last one, someone's got to be down there ready to catch it. Because it's going to drop. So, no more impact.
No more impact.
Regular wrench.
Regular wrench.
And then I'll catch the strut.
Boom.
The thing. We're going to come over here. Alright. So we were working on the passenger side. That's going to be the right side of the vehicle. It's right as in if you're sitting in it, that's the right hand side. So we're going to put the right one in on top of here. Alright, it's like that. I'm just going to get them started. The ones you took off. The ones you took off are going to go right back where they were. They're going to be the very top, mounting from inside the hood. The new bolts that they have are the ones that you're going to be putting right here. So they're going to be, the new bolts are going to attach to the new piece to the strut. And then I think these are 12 millimeter. So now you just get to go around and tighten them all. If you have a fancy socketing wrench that can fit in there, you know what? Good for you. Alright, we got them on there. Nice, very tight, at least hard as I can get it by hand with that wrench. It's probably good enough. So we're going to take this and put it back in the car. Reinstall this. We want the R to be facing forward, and we want the ADF to be red. It really doesn't matter that much. We want the ADF to be red like this. So it's just going to be installed just like this, with the R facing towards the front of the car.
Back. Front. Push them through from underneath. I'm going to get him started so he can let go. So, we got this top three on good. So now is the most challenging part of the entire thing, is putting this back together. Which actually this side looks like it's going to be easier.
Alright, on the other side, it was an enormous pain in the ass. It required pry bars and everything to get to this point. So I don't know if something's fucked up.
But this side looks like it'll be easier.
Let's assume nothing's fucked up. Hopefully this is the case for you. You might have to pry on some shit. Alright, bolt. Oh, we were supposed to look at this when we had it out.
You mean?
That's fine.
It's okay. Both the nuts are gonna be good. We're gonna cut all this out. Yeah! Now, we're gonna use a torque wrench to 130 for these nuts.
These nuts.
These nuts. Yeah. So, we use a zip tie because we broke that. Don't do that. Don't break that. And now just the tire. And it's all, the front is done. Now to the back.
Alright, so here we are on the rear. We got the tire off. We have the jack stands placed. We just jacked up right on the hitch. It worked well for us. So now we're going to be taking this, I'm standing in the light, this strut out. We have a bolt down on the bottom here. Now you're probably going to have to remove this whole lower, I don't know what they call it. Is this a lower control arm? This whole thing. We're probably going to have to take that whole thing out so we can drop the whole strut out of here once we remove the bolts from the top. Alright, so what we have here is that lower control arm with all 3 bolts removed. Alright, you take the bolt out here, then we took the bolt out from here, and then we took the bolt out from back there at the end. The strut mount bolt and that end bolt are the same size. This one's a little bit smaller. So once you get those 3 out, you can wiggle it down, and now this will give us space to drop this strut out once we take the bolts on the top out. The bolts on the top are accessible from inside the trunk. They are these. You have to kind of take your trunk apart to get to it. So we'll take these 2 out and have someone catch the strut when it falls out on the bottom. Alright, We got the thing out. What you're going to want to do is you're going to put it on a table like this. Take a really large hammer. There we go. Nope, it didn't do it.
And hammer that out. And then do it on the other side. Now that those two are out,
these new bolts, and then go up through it like so. And then you're going to put the washers on the end. Alright? Washer. Washer is going to go between the top of the strut and the new piece. The new piece is going to go with these threaded pieces towards the top. And this is going to slip on like this. And then it goes part of the way, and then you have to screw it in the rest of the way. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to have this eventually screwed all the way down with this pushed all the way, this bolt pushed all the way through. So we got these bolts tightened on here really good. Now we can go ahead and shove this right back up into the car and put those bolts back on the top. Alright, so we got these tightened on there really good. Now we can reassemble our trunk and we can head back down under the wheel here. Alright, so we got that new strut shoved back in there at the new thing on top of it. Now we are putting these bolts back in. This one we could get by hand, no problem, we could push down through. To get the sway bar end link to line up, we did have to jack a little bit up on the strut to get things to line up. Now it's going to be a really big pain in the ass getting that to line up back there. It's going to require more jacking and prying and pulling until we can get this to line up. But you just got to do what you got to do, man. Alright, we got the bolts on the way back to line up. We had to jack up under there. Also, we put a floor jack under the wheel here. And we also needed to push the whole thing over, but we weren't able to do that enough with the pry bar. So we shoved the bottle jack in there. And we were able to get it lined up so we could put that final bolt in. Alright, we got all three of these bolts on here, torqued to spec. Now you can go ahead and throw your wheel back on, and you're done.